You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A volunteer firefighter, yes, a firefighter, is accused of starting fires on Long Island. Sherry Einhorn has the story.
This is 20-year-old Jonathan Quiles. The Medford Fire Department volunteer is now facing arson charges, accused of intentionally setting at least 2 fires on Tuesday. One of those blazes damaged this 2004 Chevy. We spoke with the owner, Jose Perez, through his cousin who translated.
It's the only car he has, and he needs for work.
According to the felony complaint, Quiles admitted to lighting cotton balls on fire and then kicking them under the car. Investigators say Quiles is also responsible for starting a fire here in these woods between 2 residential blocks. Quiles' defense attorney said the firefighter lives at home with his adoptive mother and has had some mental health challenges in the past.
He's taken classes. His aspirations would be an EMS and a first responder. As I told you before, his history is that a good-natured kid who helps people.
The Medford Fire Department posted on social media saying Quiles is suspended for now and will be terminated if he's convicted. The department also said it does arson background checks before admitting members, but that there was no knowledge that this individual may have had any inclination of intentionally setting fires. Long Island is at a moderate risk for brush fires because of drought conditions and high winds. Suffolk DA Ray Tierney said Quiles is also being investigated for possible connections to other brush fires in the area.
The assigned ADA just provided me with a map with regard to, the area of all those brush fires. So that's something that we're going to continue to look at.
I think many people believed that we had a fire bug or more than one out there starting these fires. I hope that this arrest will serve as a warning and a cautionary tale against those who may want to repeat these regrettable actions.
Quiles is due back in court next week. I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
A Rockville Center police detective is accused of committing a hate crime. The alleged victim, who is black, was performing maintenance on a cell tower in Manorville when prosecutors say he was confronted by John Murphy. The DA's office claims Murphy told the worker, quote, "We don't want your kind around here," and called him a racial slur.
The man indicated he was a member of law enforcement and would know who was supposed to be in the area. He used a racial slur and kicked the vehicle door, causing damage. He also ripped off a light on the car and threw it at the victim.
Murphy, who is 40 years old, pleaded not guilty to the charges. He's been suspended from his job. And a North Merrick man has pleaded not guilty to terrorism charges for allegedly trying to blow up a social services building.
James Luca and a co-defendant drove to 60 Charles Lindbergh Boulevard and allegedly placed several propane tanks with a torch on top at the doors of the DSS building that accessed the Child Protective Services.
Now, prosecutors say surveillance video shows James Luca throwing lit road flares at the homemade bomb, trying to set it off. It happened in September in Uniondale. Prosecutors say he blames the agency for losing visitation rights to his children. The 46-year-old and his ex-wife have been going through a divorce. Earlier this year, Luca was accused of blowing up his ex-wife's car. He faces 25 years to life if convicted. And only in Newsday, 50 years after an Amityville man murdered his family, the legend of the Amityville horror house lives on, and people who live in the area are still being haunted by sightseers. Virginia Huey has a story.
It's a dark chapter in Amityville's 130-year history that still haunts many people today.
It's spooky to think of all of the, the supernatural things that supposedly happened there.
On November 13th, 1974, this charming 3-story house on Ocean Avenue turned into a crime scene when Ronald DeFeo Jr. fatally shot his parents and 4 siblings as they slept. The mass murder stunned the village and made national headlines.
Your thought is, oh my God, and then when we saw the pictures, and I said, that's the DeFeo house.
Paula Uraburo attended St. Martin's of Tours School with victim Dawn DeFeo. Uraburo was 17 when she learned her friend was murdered.
This was a family that I knew, and I had been in their house, and I had been to parties there, and it really was kind of disbelief.
A year after the chilling crime, the Lutz family purchased the home, but only lasted 28 days before moving out. Their spine-tingling tales of paranormal activity in the house launched the 1979 classic Amityville horror movie, as well as several sequels and books.
It created this mythology about this house, and it was this evil house. And that's hard to get past that. Once the legend surpassed the facts of what actually happened, that became the story that continued.
Since the Amityville murders 50 years ago, ownership of this house has changed several times. In 1977, one set of owners, James and Barbara Cromartie, even changed the address to throw off curiosity seekers.
And it's absolutely crazy. Something that should have been buried a long time ago.
But after 5 decades, the legend of the Amityville horror refuses to stay buried.
I guess old stories don't end, just like Dracula.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Now, to read more about this story, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, pull the Newsday TV video box. Governor Kathy Hochul is expected to announce a cheaper congestion pricing plan. Sources tell Newsday the toll will start at $9, down from $15 for entering Midtown Manhattan. President-elect Donald Trump vowed during the campaign that he would kill the plan. And there's a new canine assigned to patrol MacArthur Airport.
Trisco's going to keep us safe because he's going to make sure that there's going to be no exploding bombs or anything of that nature on the plane.
Trisco went through 3 months of training in explosives detection. The 2-year-old golden retriever lab mix was donated by Canine Companions. Officials say this will improve passenger safety as the airport expands. And a statewide holiday toy drive will begin on Monday. Long Island donations can be made at 250 Veterans Memorial Highway in Hauppauge. Governor Kathy Hochul says they're looking for new toys, gently used coats, and new school supplies. It was a brisk one today, so let's take a look at your Long Island weather, shall we? Now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be even chillier this evening with temps in your 30s, but we have mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, we're in the 50s with clouds overhead. Taking a closer look, you can see it starts out cold. We barely just get under 50 for the highs, and that's for the 7-day forecast. For now, we look dry until Wednesday at least, and the highs for the week, 64. Brr.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC. Only in Newsday, we investigate what's driving Suffolk County's school bus camera ticket program. Is it to safeguard children or generate income? School bus cameras, profit versus protection. Coming soon at Newsday.com.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us.